Welcome back to another Album Book Club song review. Looks like we're on song review 5. You guys sent in a bunch of songs you wanted us to check out and rate, so we're going to do it.
All right, first up, we have from Joe Gotti on YouTube, Call of Ktulu by Metallica.
That was like a 7.5.
I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Is 1 the lowest possible or 0?
You can give it a 0.
I gave something a negative before.
I mean, I'm not going to give it a negative, but it's definitely like a 0. I like... So, you know, if I didn't know it was Metallica, it might be like a 3.
I'm going to give it like a 6.
Do you want me to talk about it? I can.
Yeah, go.
It's
Sure,
depressing.
go for it.
It's just a mess. It's just a mess. There's stuff everywhere. Obviously, effort was put into the guitar parts, but not anything else.
Bass is definitely goated on this song, but
Well,
that's
I
a
mean-
guitar.
Okay, I guess that's fair. Yeah, Metallica has always had decent bass players, if not good bass
Well,
players.
this was like, I consider this prime Cliff because it was like this and then right into Master. And then unfortunately the demise of Cliff. So like kind of went out while being in his prime.
For me, the song was pretty decent. You know, obviously, it's a well-known fact that I have the Gen Z brain rot, and I do not like long songs. And it falls into the same trap that I think a lot of other long songs fall into of, okay, let's get to the next part. Let's get to the next part. You've repeated this bar 16 times. Come on, let's go. And it's just not paced very well for someone like me.
That was my biggest thing, is like the first 3 sections of it are like the same thing over and over again. Before anything new happens, it's like, this didn't need to be here. This could have been like a 6, maybe even a 5-minute song, probably.
I just like this song. I like this album. I think Ride the Lightning is a fun album. It's a great album. I think it makes sense, especially when it goes to the mythology and stuff and stories associated with it. These sections, if you were to play them out as a story, you know, that plays out in 8 minutes, 55 seconds or whatever the length is, it's just, it works in the right way for me. I also like Kirk and James' guitar playing. I like Cliff Burton a lot. I could get rid of Lars, but most people could too, so...
I was just going to say, I think the issues I have with pacing is I'm kind of rating it as a song itself, when this feels more akin to something that should be behind something else. Like, if there was a full-blown, like, animatic right in front of this, it'd be the coolest shit I've ever seen, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say, this doesn't seem like the main thing. This is the background to something, either a music video or anything like that. I could see it, but 8 minutes of just this song, or 9 minutes of just this song, nah.
I believe they did this song on S&M 1 or 2 with an orchestra. Or if it
That'd
was
be
on
cool.
1, it was on 2. And it is phenomenal.
So that would be
I
sick.
love it. But they just add kind of like a weird counter melody that's almost needed after listening to that version. But you can kind of hear it there without it.
Next up, we have I'm Alright by Joe Dee Messina, I think, suggested to us by Herman Palmer on YouTube.
This sounds like every AI country song I hear on TikTok.
For real?
That was like a 6.5.
I was going to give it a 7.
It's like an 8.
I'm riding the 7 train.
I famously am the one who doesn't like country music, but I thought this was alright. This was more of a pop song than country, with like country influence, I guess, and then a random electric guitar out of nowhere.
That's what I was gonna say. This era of country, you really get the pop country crossover. I think that's what it was, because the Nashville guys always know how to play, but when it's polished like that, the track can really shine through, and that track is awesome. There's some awesome chord changes. There's awesome tone from every instrument, and in the case of this, I forgave singing with an accent to give me a nice sounding band.
Yeah, I thought the song was super fun. I had a really good time listening to it. There was some weird stuff that you and I both noticed in the auto-tuning. There was a little like weird tweak going on. But overall, I think it's fun. It leans on the more poppy side of modern country music, which is 50-50 for me, but this one's alright.
Man, it just something about it felt so inauthentic, and it might have just been how clean it was. I'm used to dirty, and I like that kind of grit or like the shitty film sound you get. That
Tell me you like it dirty over there?
I do like it dirty.
He likes outlaw country. I like pop country apparently.
But it was definitely
like
not a
either,
bad
but-
track. It's just one I'm not gonna add to my playlist, but if it's on again, I'll jam to it. I'll boot Scoot and Boogie to it.
Boo. That's awful.
Next track.
So next up, we have Housefire by the Upstart Crows, suggested to us by the Upstart Crows on TikTok. Sorry it took so long.
What the fuck genre do you call this? Because it's like not ska because it doesn't have the horns.
I think this would fall into indie rock, technically.
Sounds like it. It reminds me a lot of Happy Fits.
It just reminds
That
me
is
of
true.
Cherry
They
Pop
do
and
have a
Daddy.
lot
This
of
is-
happy
the
fits in the
fucking
vocals.
horn.
This is so Happy Fits, dude.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time over here. Like, unironically. It's great.
It was like an 8.
I was also going to say an 8.
Yeah, I'm riding that 8 train.
Same here.
I think the first time we listened to this, like the day they told us about it, we were listening on iPhone speakers, and it did not do it justice. I don't think I heard the bass the first couple times we heard it on like iPhone speakers.
Mm-hmm.
It was sick on this song.
Yeah, I think like not thinking of the budget reasons aside because they're a small band. This is a great track. Obviously, when you get smaller production stuff like that, it can be harder, especially finding time if you're doing it yourself or it being able to afford a good engineer and stuff like that. It's all just costly and time consuming and very hard when you work a full-time job.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
It was very good. This listen through.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was good, but I don't know if it. I feel like it's more stylistic. I think.
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it was they leaned into the style of it, and it covers most of what we would be complaining about mix-wise. But
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
I was gonna say, I could definitely complain about the mix here, but I don't think it's the point. I was impressed
Oh,
with
God, no.
the energy on the track was just awesome. I've never felt like a Thursday so much. Like that's like the Thursday vibe for me. It's literally just like running around screaming. I don't know why every Thursday's like that,
I don't like that you're right.
but that's the Thursday vibe.
It's wild that he's right.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
yes, but it had the right energy, had a fun pace. I just liked the track.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. The energy here was super fun. I brought it up while we were listening. They sound a lot like another band I love, the Happy Fits. A lot of that real strong indie rock influence, and I have to agree with the add one horn and it's a ska song.
Straight up, this is
It's-
like
It's great.
it's that or this is like a little bit slower dialogue away from the B-52s, and that's a good thing too.
I was
Yeah.
about to bring up the
Like-
B-52s.
It's like it's kind of punk. I just don't know what kind of punk. Like that's it's so hard to label any of that stuff, and hopefully they'll leave us a comment telling us. But it's that high energy thing definitely reminds me a lot of all of those genres.
Next up, we have Together Whatever by Crashdiet, suggested by a YouTube viewer that does not wish to be identified.
That was like a 6 out of 10.
I give it a 6.5. It's alright.
Feeling pretty sexy today.
I'm with Connor here, 6'5".
Wasn't bad.
No.
Wasn't good.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like if you took all the fleavor out of a Dragon Force song and just kind of let it be there.
I think it's the exact same problem we very just unfortunately ran into on Friday. These guys formed in like 2000. I was just looking it up. So they're pretty young. I mean, 24 years doing 80s style in 2021. So they're kind of like basing their style on guys who've been doing it for 40 years trying to stay relevant. It's a weird clash of like middle ground sitting.
Yeah, and I definitely don't like this era of rock that this is based on. Like this genre of this era of rock. I like stuff from the 80s, just not hair metal or whatever you would call this.
I think it's kind of walking the line between hair and power metal.
I
right?
think they call it power metal.
Okay.
Hair,
That's what
power, glam.
Glam, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So-
all the same.
That's what we learned during the Stradivarius review.
Oh, that's right. I talked about that stuff. I was gonna say it just felt generic because I liked the Stradivarius stuff. It did lose a point because they did one of my least favorite faux pas and hard panned guitar echo thing That drives me nuts. Like, if you're doing that for solos, whatever, I get it. But when it's just to make an effect, like, it just causes me to lose spatial awareness for a second, pulls me out of the track.
It was a just why.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was going to, like, follow up in, like, a rise or something right after. And no, it was just kind of like pan, 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 back. Like, why?
And I mean, it's totally easy to make that tolerable. You can make things seem like they're coming from that side and coming from this side, but not only in that headphone. I mean, yeah, it reverb bounced in the other, but when it happened, I pulled it out, and it was literally just the slight reverb bounce to the other channel. I was like, man, this is...
I also think this is definitely not a bad song. I just have a back catalog of the genre out the ass, so I would say it's pretty much middle of the road. But if you were listening to this first, it's not bad to listen to at all.
So if it's on a
pretty
playlist,
solid,
I'm not going to be mad if this is on a playlist.
All the stuff I have from this, or from the 80s, the late 80s that I like is more in the prog genre. So, you know, this is not my thing anyway.
Yeah, and this just doesn't do anything to like make itself stick out. Like it doesn't make an evolution to that sound. It just is that sound. So it's just joining the vast sea of 40 plus years of songs.
Yep.
I guess it tracks that I like prog, though. I mean, it's established I'm a drummer, so like Rush and the Police and all of that stuff is like that's definitely in my wheelhouse. Not
All right, next up from the same suggester, we have Like 1999 by Valley.
I just thought I was like, did these kids even live in 1999? And that's what I googled. That's why I was like, huh. So they're apparently all like no one knows their real ages. They're really private.
Yeah.
But supposedly they're in their late 20s to 30s now. So yeah, they would have been alive in 1999.
That was a 7.
I'm going to give it a 5.5.
Wow. A 6.
See, I think personally I would go lower. But that is just... the song is so unrelatable to me that it's just like, at its core value, I know it's a pretty solid song. So it's like, I don't think I can go lower.
I don't know. I think I'm a miserable human being, so anytime a song tries to evoke nostalgia, I'm like, no, that sucks. So I think that's just what happens. I think that's my fault.
To me, this song does not invoke nostalgia. This song invokes like an insurance commercial. It sounds corporate as hell, and the lyrics to me don't mean anything. It's just saying stuff for...
It like feels like a corporate shill.
It feels like a
pop
corporation
song.
said, write a pop song, and that's what they did. I like the part where like both singers pulled up and everything was going on. I liked that. That's where the extra 0.5 came from, because I didn't completely hate this song, but it seems to me like commercial music, and I don't.
It feels like it too.
And I like the other stuff we've heard from Valley.
Was that not the point of the music video? I think that was kind of the idea behind it,
Yeah,
though.
Well,
Okay.
I thought the video was like the one guy
So
not wanting to be a part of that.
How bad is it though?
Right.
Is it like they're in a State Farm commercial, or is it like American Family, or dude, is this like a General commercial?
Is this
It's
like
like
one
a
eight-
Target
Because
ad.
if
Yeah.
this was like
Yeah.
if this was like the General with Shaq, that's pretty
Is
rough.
this like
Is
1-800-775?
I was thinking it's like a Target or like a Royal Caribbean ad.
No, it's a Target
Oh.
Circle ad. It's
No,
like the
dude.
Target
Yeah.
membership.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where everything's like red and white.
Yeah.
Yes, which kind of was the video.
I think the Target dog's name is Spot.
Spot.
It is Spot. Nice. Well, no one needs to correct us. I'm trying to think of things for people to comment on that isn't just us hating everything.
1-800.
I didn't hate most of this video. I just really did not care for this Valley song. All right. Next up, we have Wide
Sure.
Awake by Beyond the Black, suggested by Lamont.
If this is Lamont, this might actually get a 10. He's had some bangers.
It was like a 7.5.
I'm going to give it a 7.
Yep, 7.
I'm with Logan here, 7.5.
I don't know. I liked it. It's slow. It could have
Yeah.
been fast. And knowing that it could have been fast, I was unhappy that it was slow.
I get that this is probably the point, but I feel like it took too long to get to where it ended.
It
And
did
that's-
feel like a boat ride.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
kind of dragged out.
I mean, and we talked about it too. That I don't know if I just don't like the key changes or if it's a stylistic thing, but they were just a little they were a little abrasive.
It felt like every time they did a key change, they added more in the background too.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm smoking crack.
That's
No,
normal.
no,
That's
no, you're right.
No, yeah.
They were like, surprise, new key change, and then like a wall fell, and there was another band there to play each time.
I mean that's good orchestration, but
Mhm.
at a certain point, not at a certain point. It's really hard to pull that off. You know, I talk often about liking bands that have like cinematic kind of orchestrations and feeling to their music. And while this had that, it didn't feel like good cuts in between, I think is the answer. You know, there were not good transitions between the segments. And then the mixes were a little different from segment to segment too, which made it even more apparent.
I don't know what more I can say about it than you guys haven't already said. I mean, I really like the build-up portions, but I'm in agreement with Carl that the key changes did kind of feel like a fish slapping you across the face. I think the vocal performance is really, really good. Like, there were a couple spots where it was a little rough, but overall, such an impressive performance.
I say that's just any performance. There's always going to be a couple spots that are a little rough.
We talked about it too. I don't know if she's a native English speaker or not because the band's not from anywhere. They're not from an English-speaking country. Sorry, I don't know if she's a native English speaker, but if she's not, that was a killer job. We barely noticed.
All right. Next up, we were sent a beat tape by Chromatic, an account on Instagram. We're only going to listen to half of it. We're going to listen to the first and the third song and put it in a randomizer. I don't think we have enough time to listen to all four, but we're going to listen to the first track first. It's called Choral.
It's like a 2.
That seems pretty fair.
I don't know. I'd give it like a 4. I liked the energy it brought and the creativity.
3.
Here's my main issue: the vocal chops. I'm gonna, for the sake of this review, I'm gonna look past the insane cuts this song makes. The vocal chops are cut not the greatest. They're a little bit off. Mostly in the beginning you hear it real bad, but they're just like a beat or two off when they come in on the vocal chops.
That like the "I will be created" part.
Is that what that said? I couldn't.
I could not.
Yeah,
I could not
so
say.
it sounds like, and I hope I'm not smoking crack. That part was recorded, and then they're like, "Ooh, I don't want it at the start. I want it at the end," because the guitar fades in. Like there's a fade in where they cut it, and it's almost like they forgot to take the fade in effect part out. It's rough every time because you hear it the first time because you're taken by surprise, and then you hear it every time.
Dude, the guitar thing coming in every time made me jump, and I knew it was coming, but like I literally was like physically startled every time, and like I don't think anyone's been that surprised since like they wrote the Surprise Symphony. Like that's pretty rough.
I do also think the guitar part was quite a bit louder than everything else. That could have probably got turned down a little bit. I'm also not 100% sure how this is a beat.
It
It did not feel like a full beat.
Yeah, no.
This felt like several mishmashed pieces of shit.
I think it's more of I have no idea what this was supposed to be.
Right. I think we just missed like the complete thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like the guy in Mallrats who's just staring at the picture the entire movie. Like
Willem.
Yeah, I feel like I'm just staring at the dots and I don't see the ship.
The next song is called
right.
Vapor. It's track 3 off of the EP. This
Vapor?
It's like a dog whistle.
Oh my god.
Why does the meter change?
It's been all over the place. At least still let the drum machine roll at the end, so we had something usable.
I feel like now we have to go listen to the other ones.
No.
Yeah, we're gonna run the last.
This is like a 3 out of 10.
I'll give it a 3.5, I guess. No, the dog whistle lost it half a point. Probably more than that, but 3.
I'm gonna stick with a 4 again.
I'm sticking with my 3.
I'm going to stick with it. If I paid for this, I would be mad. And that's just because the meter got very inconsistent to a point of I can think of a flow for the rest of it, but that little like chopped section I'd have to cut out. And then I'm paying for 15 seconds of a beat.
That's the other thing. I don't know how much content is on it because it's his Bandcamp and it's like pay to get in and get everything. And I don't know how much is there, but I know it's $10 to get in. And if I got there and it was these 4 songs, I'd be pissed.
Is this like his demo that he sends out to people? Like this is...
I'm guessing.
If you want one of my beat packs, this is what you're going to get?
Well, he's not doing beat packs. This is beat tape. This is like, here's the songs that I made.
Oh.
He's not like selling these, I think.
Okay.
He's selling access to these.
I still think that's absolutely wild. And all the more power to you. If you're making money this way, let yourself make money this way.
I'm going to stick with my I don't get it. I'm going to stick with this as a language I don't speak. And it happens in music. It does. You know, I know a lot. I speak a lot of languages, but not whatever. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
They slapped the dog whistle in the break part with the vocals that I have no idea what he's saying.
The vocals
Okay.
are also bad.
No, I really, really, really was uncomfortable at the vocal. It was like,
Yeah, why are you weirdly moaning in my ear, bro? Steven would love this, but I don't.
that's out of key.
Well, so here's my thing, right? We've all dipped our toes in something pretty damn close to this, if not right over top of this. So to say we don't get it, I think, is almost out of the question. This is so far into what we've done before that we can point out where the flaws are and what they were just trying to do.
I think it's less of...
It's just we don't know where his brain was at.
I don't know what this is for.
Or their
Not
brain,
like
sorry.
what this is. I know what it's supposed to be. I don't know what this is for. 'Cause especially since he's selling it. Like, if this was going out on YouTube and he was just like, here's what I'm working on. It's sure, man. But the fact that there's a paywall involved, I'm like, what is the goal other than, like, getting paid for it, obviously. But we're going to move on and listen to the rest of it. I feel like now we got to get it. At this point, I'm like, I want to see his process. I want him on Album Beat Club. If we can get that started. I would like to see the process and work with him. But all right, so we're gonna go out and listen to the other 2 tracks on this EP back to back and just give our thoughts overall of this. We're doing a full EP review in the middle of this video. So
Still feel like I don't get it.
next up is Opera.
Is he screaming Akon?
Okay. See, this one isn't as bad.
Dude, I get it now. I liked that, actually, I think.
Which have you heard this yet?
Here.
Carson gave up.
Why is he coming in the mic? That's what I want to know. Oh, he's not even getting. Thank God I took off the fucking headphones. Is it this the whole time? I don't know. What a waste of time. Like, you already know it's coming.
All right, you want my honest review, Chromatic, of your EP? I would love to talk to you and just understand what's going on.
Dude, I think I get it. I actually think I get it.
Carl
And-
understands this bullshit. I can't believe it.
I think I kind of
brain
like
turned
it, but
off.
I
I
would
couldn't
just
think
really
of it.
like to know what and how.
I'm going to go the Logan route. I want to talk to this guy. I think I could make a really clickbaity trailer out of the shit we said and hype up a video where we talk to this guy.
Dude, I really think I got it. I think I liked it. I need context. Like, I need more.
Carl needs context. Me and Logan need to understand. Carson doesn't have to be at that interview.
I mean,
I will say, track 2,
yeah, I think that's like a 6.
that one isn't as egregious as the other.
Yeah.
6 is insane.
No,
Yeah,
way is it,
I
no
really-
way is it a 6. It's like
No.
maybe a 4.5.
No.
Maybe.
No, I think that
Didn't
was
hear it.
I
It
think that
was-
was 6 points better than Metallica. I really do.
Okay.
I feel like this is similar-ish to some of the first things that I ever made when I was just messing around. Things that have never and will never see the light of day.
Things you weren't making people pay for.
Things that I wasn't making people listen to.
That's true.
I don't know, man. So we had this like discussion about outsider music on Wednesday, talking about things that like you don't get the first time around. And I'm not saying this is outsider music. I'm not saying I'm gonna go listen to it again. But I would really like to know I would really like to know what it is or what's going on and figure it out, because I don't know. I think if I get it, it might be okay. But if I don't, I might hate it and agree with you guys. I don't know.
Here's what I'll say. I'm probably not going to send him a DM to tell him we reviewed it in this video. If he happens to see this part of the video and make it past what just was said, reach out. We will talk to you and interview you about this. We will say something.
Love to talk.
Me, Logan, and Carl will interview you. I don't think I'm going to
You
make
know what?
Carson show up for that.
No, I'm gonna be here, and you're gonna answer my fucking questions
All right,
because I have some for you.
he's
All right,
done.
Carson's going to be here.
All right, so
All right. I'm tapping out.
Oh, Red Stripe Clay's God Does.
Today's the day we found the borders of mine and Logan's musical taste.
So what do we think? What do we think? What do we think?
it's like a 6.5.
A fucking 10. Give it a 10.
That's probably an 8.5, 9. I give it a 9.
I was gonna say I give it a 9.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's beautiful.
His voice, like, there's just
Wow.
the difference in his, like, his voice, the way he goes loud, the way he changes it up, the harmonica, the just melodies, different change. Like, oh, it touched my soul.
The background track does touch your soul in the most proper way.
For sure. I could connect to it, too. Like, definitely connect to it. You know what I mean? Like, you struggle. You know what I mean? Try to find love, try to find yourself, and then boom, whatever. God does.
That's probably my favorite drum part I've ever heard in
Yeah,
like a
it's so
folky
good.
rock song, and it doesn't belong there. That's the thing. That doesn't belong where it is, and it's
Yeah, it's
It's
like
perfect.
it was like nice and simple, but like the best in the same way. You know what I mean? Like it was like holy shit. I definitely love that song. I found it like 3 days ago.
I think it's a good song. Yeah. It just doesn't resonate with me, you know. It's not one that I take to my heart. The track itself, pretty solid. As far as like the subject of it and all that, it's just one that I'm like, this is not too relatable to me, and so I'm just like taking it at its merits. And it was just a very clean, like kind of folk song, country song. It's just, I feel like there's aspects to that I kind of look for more, which is a little less clean, a little more dirty, or stuff
Cool.
like that. But it's just, I'm an old head in a modern era, and
Yeah.
it's just not the way it
you're,
works.
you're not gonna get that in Christian music. You're not gonna get that.
That is
And
true.
that's the thing.
This is very clean Christian
Yeah,
contemporary
this is
Trey's
folk.
like
This is
he-
church music.
yeah, like and he makes like good like lovey like country. And I'm not a big country guy to be honest with you. Like I like country music here and there, but like this, oh yeah. I don't know what resonated with me with this, but
You're a God-fearing man.
I'm a God-fearing man. I'll tell you that.
That's what resonated
yeah,
with you.
dude, that's probably what it was. Just one day I was like, I'm sad as fuck. And Red Stripe Clays came on, and I was just like,
It's really interesting because I mean, I guess because he had that heavy accent, I'd call it country, but like, I don't lump the Avett Brothers in with country. You know, I don't
Yeah.
lump a lot of those people. They're more like Americana, maybe. They're more Americana than
That's what I'm saying. This is
country.
like more folk to me
Yeah.
than country, and it's just it's disingenuous to both almost. It's like it's not quite off the cusp of country and onto folk, but it's like right in that line. Like
Yeah, I mean,
perfectly.
it reminds me a lot of like the band with Levon Helm. I mean, there's a ton of stuff it reminds me of that kind of crosses that border.
he
I mean,
reminds
even-
me of like fucking Elvis.
Yeah,
I
or
get Elvis vibes a little bit.
or like even some of the Bob Dylan stuff. I mean, which the band was Bob Dylan's band, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
But this whole like thing, it exists in kind of the middle there. And there's a lot of bands from that genre that I do like. You know, the Avett Brothers is a great example. I just have a sweet spot for that, and the fact that this had a killer drum part in it.
Dude, the harmonica though. You
Oh, yeah.
got it. Oh, the harmonica part. I swear
Very
to God.
good.
When it played the other day, I was just like, oh, like someone farted in my car. I was just like, God, this is disgusting. I love it. This song is by Witschey. Don't wanna.
I know your ass was running out of breath on that line.
All right.
That was like an 8.
Oh, I give myself a 9.
Ooh, that's hard. It's I'll give it an 8 for sure.
Fuck yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna give it a 7.5, but I'll agree with you guys. 8.
Fuck
I think
you.
my favorite thing is just after having been in the studio with Witchy, you can just tell when he starts running out of breath because he's like, he starts
You
growling.
understand? Oh, dude. You know, like, I was running out of
You
breath.
can
from-
feel the clinch in your
Yeah.
voice. When
And you heard it too because it ended, and then I was like, and then I came in with another verse because I was like,
well, one
let's
of
hold
them,
this
you
one.
can still hear the full, just like straight into the mic.
That's literally all my music though.
Which
like,
you know retakes exist, right? You
Yeah,
can
yeah, they
retake
do,
lines.
but I say
and-
fuck them. I don't need.
Dude, you
them.
gotta do the chocolate rain and move your
I
face
swear.
away from the mic to breathe.
No, but this song. Fun fact about this song: my fucking ex kept calling me, She was like, oh my God, let's drink, let's do this, let's do that. And I was like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I don't want to link, I don't want to do that, I don't want to do this. And I was just like, wait a second. Connor, I have a song idea. And he was like, bet, I got something cooked up.
Was
and
your ex Kermit the Frog?
Yeah.
Hey, baby.
Our guy always had his hand up my ass.
I will say I really like when it filled out in the backtrack. That was really cool.
And the beat.
Yeah, beat was
good.
kind of mid as ass. It was kind of mid as kind of ass, you know.
Beat was,
Production was shit.
This is one of my favorite songs I've made, for real. Like top 3.
The energy was awesome. I liked the energy. I liked the message. It was fairly upbeat for being a song about not wanting to do anything, which I think is always one of my favorite things, is that sarcastic. No. It's just, there's something fun about it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I literally 2 steps of this song every day. I don't want to be with you, and you don't want to be with me. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of our silliness and us reviewing the songs. If you guys have any more songs you want us to review, send them in. You know what I mean? We're down to review them and either talk shit about you or give you some love. This is the Album Book Club, and we'll see you next time. Yay!